Back from the dead.
Hey guys, FailcoPunch here, and I'm here to talk about the new gigantic Exile in the North patch that's just been released. So, there's a lot of things that are new in this patch. One of them particularly revolves around my favorite character, Tripp, and I want to show them to you. So let's get started here. First things first, gotta choose a cool skin. We're in the practice arena here with some of the new weapons and skins. Shock therapy and icicle shards. Pretty cool visual effects. Alright, so the newest addition to Tripp is actually the left branch on her LMB, her daggers, right? So Power Surge is what's new. Currently now, each hit grants 5% basic attack damage and movement speed for 3 seconds, and it stacks until it gets to 25%. That's a lot of damage boost. So we're actually going to, I'm going to show you this build here. So we're going to pick Power Surge. I just want to show you how it works. So you hit an enemy, you actually gain speed and damage, and it stacks. 3 seconds. So you have 3 seconds to move on to your next target, right? Alright. So you can see the damage boost is actually applied right now. You can see it on Tripp. It's that that red like circle on her hands. So I have the boost now from attacking and it's gone, right? So it's only 3 seconds. Pretty short amount of time. So the next thing we're gonna do is get marked for death. So this boost, this build focuses purely on dealing damage. So we want to do as much damage as possible with Power Surge. So Marked for Death is going to help us out. It's going to give us 150 bonus damage. And honestly, we want Marked for Death for Shattering Blades. So let's grab that. And I want to show you that real fast here. Alright. So now we do 150 more damage just from those daggers. Alright. So we just got 150 damage boost for hitting that guy within 5 seconds after we threw the dagger. That's a big boost. Alright, so the next thing we want to get is actually the Killer Instinct path. This used to be plus 15% damage, but now it's plus 10. But it's still plus 10% damage against foes with less than 50% health. As Tripp, you're usually going to be on targets like that anyway, so this is extremely useful. It's really strong. Even if skirmishing is still kind of, overpowered, still a very strong upgrade, Killer Instinct kind of forces you to play a little differently. So let's try that out. I'll show you. Alright. So, real fast. We're going to get on this guy. Once he's at below 50%, he kind of just gets shredded. And I'll explain the difference here. So, Killer Instinct is really, really strong. You get a damage boost, basically, on top of the damage boost you already get from Power Surge. The only drawback is that you really, really, really have to pay close attention to your stamina. Since you're constantly going to be trying to chase people to keep your buff, you're going to be out of stamina a lot more. And skirmishing, without it, it's going to be harder to manage your stamina. Alright, so it's all about kind of managing your stamina a lot more, positioning yourself better, getting out of fights when you're low on stamina. And remember, it won't regen quite as fast as it will with skirmishing. So the next thing I want to show you is Will to Power. Remorselessness, is an upgrade that I've never taken my entire life. I don't really think it's that useful, especially since it's kind of just a one-time deal, right? You get a speed boost and damage boost after every kill, but it doesn't stack, it doesn't stay with you. Will to Power gives you 10% damage and 10% front armor after using your focus, and it lasts until you die. That's extremely good. So that's an upgrade that just stays with you. It's a buff that will stay with you. It gives you an incentive for staying in better positions and trying not to die. So that's really awesome. This is really strong. 10% damage on top of the 25% damage we can get from Power Surge. That's really strong. 35% damage. Yes, please. Give me that. Alright. So here we go. We're going to activate it right now. And you can see, even if my 3 seconds have been up, now I have a boost forever. Until I die. So, alright, I can do almost like 35% damage right off the bat. That is extremely strong. The next thing we want to get is we want to complete our dagger upgrades with Shattering Blades. This is really strong. Binding Blades is really good too if you're having trouble with people getting away from you. But Shattering Blades just kind of makes you unstoppable. You can shred Margraves with this ability. So what happens is a target gets minus 10 armor for 4 whole seconds. Look at that. Cracked armor, dead. That gives you a good amount of time to basically shred any enemy, especially if they're low. They're just kind of gonna get destroyed. Look at that. Look how fast you shred people with that. Alright. So the damage boost is working real well. One of the next things I like to get, especially for this build, is going to be Starburst. The reason being, this build is really big on going up to people not in stealth. Right? You want to approach them kind of, not exactly head on, but you're going to approach them not in stealth. Throw your daggers, kill them, and then use your E to escape. Rather than initiate like you would with Shocking Blades upgrade. So remember, you're using your E as an escape. So if you're low, you want to make sure you leave that to get out of situations. Or even your Q. You're mainly focusing on your daggers and your blades for this certain build. Alright, so the next thing we want to try to get is... I want to get Heal Blade so I have everything upgraded at least once. So we're going to do this. It's going to give our crit chance to 100. Make Kick even stronger than it already is. Kick him and he's dead. Alright. So Kick's extremely useful. Your next upgrade, if you're having trouble with projectiles and ranged characters, I would go Static Shield to deflect the projectiles. Extremely strong upgrade. It's very annoying for ranged players. They can't do anything to you if you're in their face, which you will be with this upgrade. So I suggest getting that next. Alright, so we'll test it out. So this upgrade provides you with a small shield that reflects projectiles, or deflects them. Oh, you see that? Just reflected it right back to him. And remember, the shield is really short-lived, so you want to make sure you activate it at the right time. It can actually reflect all kinds of things. HK focus, Beckett pistols, whatever range projectile it is, it'll reflect it, but you gotta make sure you use it in the correct amount of time. So the next upgrade we want to get really depends on your playstyle. Full charge is really strong. You actually can activate the full charge of Power Surge, so the 25% damage. You can activate that with a single attack, single jump attack, single dodge attack. That's really strong, so if you find yourself, you know, if you like to dodge attack a lot, this is definitely the upgrade you want to take. If you find you're just kind of being able to run through lots of grouped up enemies at the same time, this is the one you want to get. So it depends. I like full charge personally because I find I jump attack quite a bit, so I'm going to get that next. Alright, so let's test this out. Alright, so I have full charge. This upgrade, however, really does kind of drain your stamina. But it's pretty useful because you can go like this. You can be like, woo! Oh, that didn't hit him. Alright. Let's jump attack this guy. Alright. So it really depends. That upgrade absolutely depends on what you really rather use. Jump attack. Or just, you know, being able to max out the power surge for 10 seconds instead of 5. So it's personal preference. Alright, so the last upgrade I want to get is actually going to be Electrical Storm. This build is all about just dealing out massive amounts of damage rather than just like a lot of CC, which is what this does. So I personally prefer Electrical Storm. I usually get it last though, because your E is mostly for escape, so I'm not really too worried about dealing a ton of damage as I escape. But this isn't bad. It's going to hit people in an AoE, which is pretty nice, especially if they're really low and you can't finish them off. It might just kill them for you. So we're going to grab that. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is talk about skill specialization here. This build is extremely reliant on your left mouse button and right mouse button attacks, so your blades in general. So we're going to get cutting edge, actually. We're not really going to worry about our Q or our E too much. You know, we're going to only use our E to escape, only use flash dance to escape. I'm sorry if you're on Xbox. I know those aren't the controls for you, but anyway, so we want our right mouse button upgrade to do bleeding deals 2 times damage, and during clash you get 30% armor penetration for basic attacks for 5 whole seconds. That's really long time. So with 30% armor penetration and 25% damage that we can do, we just destroy people, destroy them. Alright, bleed alone does a lot of damage. Hold on, I want to show you. Look at that. 44 damage per tick. That is quite a lot. That is a really nice attack. I've actually killed people with that a lot. It does a lot of damage. Especially if you have armor crack on daggers. That just eats through so much armor so fast. Here, let's try it out on this guy. Max that power surge. Watch. I bet the bleed will kill him. Yep, there we go. And there you have it. This is the newest power surge build in the Exile of the North update. I hope that you have enjoyed watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Failco out.
Good work.